Welcome to Art Appreciation and your orientation video. This is just a brief little film that will help walk you through D2L and make sure you know how to use the tools available to you. Here you see we're on the home page. There's a nice welcome message that explains some important info, so you'll make sure whenever there's an announcement, you need to read it. You'll also see there's an announcement here that says get Microsoft Word for free, and this will tell you how. Your assignments must be submitted as Word documents, so this is probably the easiest way to do it. Although if you're a Mac user and prefer Pages or have been using Google Docs for a long time and really like that and want to keep using it, totally fine, because both programs allow you to export as a Word document. So it's totally fine to keep working the way you do, but you have to make sure you export it as a Word document or save as a Word document, or you'll get a late grade because you won't have submitted it properly and it won't get graded. But there's more information on that in the syllabus, which you'll read on your own. So this is the home page. You'll see the calendar is here reminding you you have class January 6th and January 13th. You have a syllabus quiz, due, and things like that. So these are the types of things to check out. Let's move over to content. This is how you'll actually move through the class. Content is just table of contents. So as you move through here, you'll notice there's some cool things. Some of these things we go through in our first class, but I want to show you what a typical week looks like. And we're going to start with the second week to ensure that there's everything in it. Sometimes the first week doesn't, because it's a shorter week. So this is what a standard week looks like. You'll have a reading for the week, an online lesson, and a live lesson in a blended course. The online material is something that you're required to do on your own. Most weeks it's going to be a lecture because the lectures are recorded. They're just YouTube videos. There will be the PowerPoint that goes along with it that you can download and use to take your notes and have to go with it. Sometimes the readings are handouts. For the first 2 weeks, I do ensure that I provide the reading so that you can prepare and go ahead and get your textbook. And then actually, since week 1 in this class is so short, you won't end up needing it until we get to week 4. But if you have it sooner, week 3, the handout is actually just a handout from your textbook. It'll show you what we're doing in class in case you miss it. And then if there's homework, there'll be an extra an extra little submodule here that says homework and has the homework assignment as well. So this shows you in week 2, you won't have a homework assignment. Because if I go to week 3, you'll see the homework. So that just shows you how that works. And in these little sub-modules, it'll have everything you need. So like it'll have the little tour link and everything. But sometimes in class, I might change it up and we might watch, depending on our conversation, your interest. In class, sometimes that live session changes a little bit, but the makeup will always stay the same. So if you miss class, and you want to make something up, you can always go to the live session and find out what's here, and you can use that to make up your assignment. Never a problem. And it's the same week to week to week. Here is where you'll view your grades. And right here, it shows you that you can download the Pulse app and it'll actually send you notifications when new grades come in. Um, but this is a calculated grade. It'll show you what your current grade in the class is. Your grade is out of 100 points actually, so it makes it really easy to figure out what your grade is. So for instance, your homework assignments are all out of 5 points. If you don't do a homework assignment, you're sacrificing 5% of your grade. That's a pretty big jump. So if you don't do 2 homework assignments, the highest grade you can get is a B, basically. These are the things that we do in class. So that's the difference between an assessment and homework, is these are the assignments that you do at home, and the assessments are what we'll do in class. You'll notice there's only one quiz, and it's your midterm exam. Midterm exam we won't actually do in class. We'll do a midterm review in class, and then you'll do the midterm exam over the weekend online. You have 2 papers. They're both fairly short papers instead of doing one really long one. The first one is like a page long, and then the second one is a template that you fill out actually. And it's very specific down to the number of sentences. Like there's several categories. You only have to write 2 to 3 sentences. There's 3 categories. And then there's 3 categories. You write 10 to 15 sentences. So it's really not a complicated paper. And that ends up being your final. So as you notice, there's no final exam. I do offer quite a bit of extra credit. So you can, view these assignments. And then one thing that is unique in the lieu of, not in lieu of attending class on campus, I'm sure I'm not the only professor doing this, but if you're unwell, if you're unable for any reason, I want you to stay home and not feel like you need to come. So I do give you the option to attend class in Zoom on those days. I would prefer you to come to campus as long as everything is fine, but I don't want you to push it. If there's any chance that you might have COVID, even if it's just a cold, or you're in a car accident and you don't have a car and you're trying to figure it out, you can attend. And again, it explains it in this syllabus, but I do give you the opportunity to attend in Zoom, and you will be able to still be counted present for attendance for our Thursday sessions. So you can see once you click Zoom, this pops up. Everybody knows this by now, but you'll see all of the sessions that we have are here. There are 2 classes that you have an out of class assignment. Those 2 classes aren't here. And then, of course, spring break. So that's really what we use in Zoom, although we will also use email. This is where I ask that you email me. You can also email me in Outlook, but I will respond sooner to D2L because I check it more often. So if it's, important, if you're looking for a quick reply, make sure that you email in D2L because I will get it faster. So there's a trick to this. Of course, you can just type my name and I'll come up. So it's not difficult. So, don't forget your professor's name. But you can also go to the address book and you'll notice that all of your fellow students in the class are here. So if you are looking for a partner for an assignment that you missed class for, or something like that, you can choose to send an email to everyone in class. But you have to decide if you're CCing them, blind CCing them, or putting them in the to field. And you do that here. So, but maybe you just want to send it to Andrew and you click to. And that's how it gets added. So it's a little tricky. So if you need to see that again, just rewind it. Because now you have to click add recipient, and that's how you get him here. But if you know you're looking for Andrew, if there's someone specific you're looking for, you can also just type in their name. But if you don't know who you're looking for, you can use the address book. You can also upload attachments here. You can record video if you're trying to send something like that, but you do need Flash for it, so just keep that in mind. And then there are discussions as well. Discussions, ironically, can be found under communication and under assessments because some of them are graded. So I have quite a few different Q&A sections. So this is just kind of any general question you might have. But for the final paper, I have one open. Prehistory. This is a video that you'll watch as an out-of-class assignment. And sometimes students miss a question while watching it. And so you can ask in here. And then I also have one for the elements and principles. If you have any questions about elements and principles, doing visual analyses can be a little tricky. So it's a collaborative environment. This is not just to pose questions for me, but to work together because higher education is where we all work together to better our understanding. And right now, the only general discussion we have is the welcome discussion, and that might change later in class depending on what transpires. Of course, you can find your assignments and your tests, and like I said, the discussions. Right now, I don't have any surveys or checklists set up, but I may do so in the future. And if I do, they'll be put in the modules so that you can use them. And they'll basically be some sort of like a self-assessment. All of the assignments can be found here. You will see their due date. Only the homework assignments have due dates in them. The assessments don't. And the only reason that I don't have the assessments, this is one that you do out of class, so that's why that one does. But the only reason I don't have them, with due dates is because sometimes we need to change our plans up for the day. And so I leave it kind of open and we'll add the due date the day of. But like I said, it is in the content module for the week. So if you miss a class and you're trying to figure out what to do, you can just do what's in the content module. And the due date will show up after class that day. But I leave it kind of flexible because if we run out of time to do something, I might just say, don't worry about that particular one. And then you'll see the bonus and then the papers. So they're all kind of here. There are some tools here. There's a great glossary that I've put in. Not nearly as good as your textbook, but it can be helpful when you're trying to figure out a word and you're on here. so you don't have to go anywhere else. So let me just pull it up real quick. So like it has most of the main ones. It's not nearly as clear as I mean, is not clear. It's not nearly, it doesn't have nearly as many words as your textbook will, but it can get the job done if you're looking for kind of a word at the last minute or something and you don't have your textbook on hand. The roster is here too. It can show you if another student is online so you know who to send an email to ask a question to. The calendar is here. Groups are here. If we have an assignment and I put you guys in groups, you'll be able to see who your group members are. And then the resources that are here are going to be some like academic resources, your library resources, like this is where you'll find access to the library and to the online databases. Online tutoring is here, and then any tutorials that you might need. So that's really kind of the online walkthrough I wanted to do to make sure you know how to gain access to everything. And so that will be the end of our video. I can't wait to meet you guys.